Welcome back. Welcome to the Conversation Corner. Pope Leo has released his first encyclical of his papacy, and it focuses on humanity and, in part, warned about the risks to humanity of artificial intelligence. Nick Thompson joins me now. He is the CEO of The Atlantic, someone I've talked to frequently about technology and the technology space. Nick, it's always great to have you here. Get to the Pope's encyclical in a minute, but I want to play for you something that happened at two different commencement ceremonies. First speaker here is Gloria Caulfield. The second is Scott Borchetta. But what links them is the audience, meaning the student graduates' reaction. Play it.
Artificial intelligence is the next industrial revolution. What happened?
AI is rewriting production as we sit here. I know it. Deal with it. Like I said, it's a tool.
Evaluate that.
Young people don't like AI. It's actually been really interesting, and you can see it coming in the polls. And they're worried, A, about their future. They're worried it's going to cause a lot of disruption. They're seeing how it changed their education. They may have used it to write their homework, but they're really concerned about what it's going to do. And they don't like the environmental costs. They care more about the environment than people who are older. AI is widely unpopular. I think it's amazing, but it is widely unpopular, particularly among young people.
Because it typically is old people like me who are resistant to technology and young people who see it as cool and innovative and futuristic. Yeah, this is interesting then.
It's profoundly interesting. It's the first technology that I've ever seen in my life. And you can see it in demographic data. 40-year-olds like it more than 20-year-olds. And that's why those graduation speakers were the first one was like, wait, what's going on here? Like, why'd you boo? But if I give a talk on AI and I'm talking to a college, they respond very differently than if I'm talking to older people at a business.
I want to get to the encyclical. I want to read a couple of things from it. I'm not the Pope and I can't quote him directly in his voice, but I will because it's a very interesting
Oh, it's great. I loved it. I loved it.
First one, control room. The pervasive technocratic paradigm in which we are immersed, and that is amplified by the digital revolution and AI, threatens to normalize an anti-human vision. In that vision, the fullness of life is equated with having more, reducing weakness, eliminating uncertainty, and exerting total control. Graphic 2. Thus, intelligence, when absolutized, overshadows other essential dimensions of life, such as affection, the will, commitment, and relationships. Similarly, technical power, if left unbalanced, does not make us more capable. It makes us more isolated and more vulnerable to being dominated and excluded.
Yeah, he has a very sophisticated analysis. He does at points point about the promises of AI. It wasn't all doom and gloom, which I think is important because there are a lot of wonderful things. But he's very concerned, it seems, from that quote, with three different and interesting important things. One is the power consolidation. It is a very small number of companies and a very small number of people that are about to have a ton of power over how the world is shaped. And then secondly, we are offloading a lot of our thinking and a lot of what makes us human. He was very particularly concerned about people like falling in love with bots. And then there's this blurring of lines. What is a human? What is a person? And the Pope is very right to call these out. These are legitimately the most important concerns about AI.
Two real quick topics. Elizabeth Warren, Democratic Senator from Massachusetts, said we should tax in a specific way AI giants. And two, the rising political grassroots opposition to data centers.
So taxing, I do think it's very important that people feel like they have a stake in it. In fact, Dario Amodei of Anthropic has suggested that very idea. The counter argument is, wait a second, why should there be a particular tax? Where exactly you're going to tax downstream on the AI companies, not the people who use it? Should there be a tax on tokens? Like, there are a lot of implementation questions, but a challenge for the government, make sure there's buy-in. Because you don't have buy-in, you got a lot of angry young people, you're going to have a really, really
Which
big
leads
problem.
us to this data center opposition.
So people are angry at data centers because A, they're angry at AI, and B, they cause a lot of pollution and a lot of disruption. My view, AI will generally, I hope, be positive for the economy, right? And you can see some signs of it right now, and the use of AI right now can have a lot of benefits for business. I don't know how it's going to shake out. Data centers are at the bottom of that. I think if the country wants to grow, we need to have data centers. So that one, I'm kind of on the side of the data centers. So I'm like sometimes with the side of the critics and sometimes with the side of the capitalists in this conversation, Major.
That's why I want to have you here regularly. We will keep you here coming back. Nick Thompson, I appreciate it very much.